really have to say it, fidget spinners have become one of the hottest toys of the year, and it seems like they are everywhere. Gas stations, toy stores, online shopping, we can definitely predict what the hottest stocking stuffer is going to be during the holidays. But there is a darker side to fidget spinners, and it might even cost you your life or freedom. Here are some ways fidget spinners got people in trouble. Keep yourself out of trouble by watching our videos. First, we'll start off gently before getting into the heavier stuff. We'll start off with the obvious and see how some schools are handling the spinner issue. Before fidget spinners got popular, they were very much embraced in the public school world because they were able to get students to focus and get their work done. However, fidget spinners have evolved from tool to toy, which means they are getting confiscated on a regular basis. The same school administration that encouraged the use of spinners and other fidget toys are now banning them in the classroom. At Calusa Middle School in Cape Coral, Florida, one student got his fidget spinner taken away after their parent bought it for them online. According to school officials, the spinner looked like a Chinese star and had 3 sharp points, making it a potential weapon. The case was even investigated by local authorities, who eventually determined that the student, nor their parents, had ill intent. But that one incident has seemed to have ruined the whole spinner experience for the rest of the student body. While there isn't an official rule at the middle school regarding spinners, the administration is leaving it up to the teachers, which is highly subjective. Choked up. Everyone has seemed to have been so caught up in the fidget spinner craze that it was overlooked that these things do present a choking hazard. In 2017 alone, there have been multiple stories of young children choking on the bearings of the spinner. In May 2017, one Texas mom posted a plea on her Facebook page asking for parents to be more mindful of how their kids play with their fidget spinners. The mom, named Kelly Rose Joniek, heard her 10-year-old daughter Britton choking in the back seat. She had removed one of the bearings to clean it in her mouth when it got lodged in her throat. The bearing got stuck in Britton's esophagus, and she had to go through emergency surgery to get it removed. Britton isn't the only story. Down in Australia, Jade Gervin's son Angus had begged for a fidget spinner for weeks until he finally got one. In June 2017, he was playing with his spinner while lying in bed when one of the bearings got loose, landed in Angus's mouth, and he swallowed it. The bearing ended up in his stomach, and he ended up being in a lot of pain before finally passing it. Bait and switch. Because fidget spinners are so popular, it seems that if you're holding one, you can get surrounded by kids rather quickly because they want to see what you have. Kids are curious, so it's only natural. But some really awful people know this and are taking advantage of the fidget spinner craze to get more victims for their evil deeds. Typically, we think of perps luring in their victims with promises of a van full of candy, or something similar. In June 2017, a man named Chad Ralston was arrested in St. Mary's, Ohio, after it was discovered that he was using fidget spinners to lure kids and have them get closer to him. Once they approached him, he would expose himself, much to the kids' horror. Ralston managed to pull this off in 2 different parks before he was arrested and charged with public indecency and importuning. In short, Ralston is going to end up living life as a felon since he's a shoo-in for a guilty verdict. So next time some stranger approaches you saying they have cool fidget spinners, you might want to run in the other direction instead. See, this is why we can't have nice things. Theft. If you're not living a life that's following the law, then you might want to try to behave yourself as best you can and not commit any more crimes. You never know when that one slip-up could lead to your demise. In this story, fidget spinners ended up being the breadcrumbs that led to the arrest of 2 people. In Cobb County, Tennessee, a woman named Sabrina Ashley Martin stole 4 fidget spinners from a Shell gas station that were worth a total of $41. Thanks to surveillance video, police were able to track down the car, a 2005 Hyundai, and get the license plate number. The car was eventually spotted, and the driver, named Timothy Dale Coleman, told the police where Martin lived. When the cops arrived, Martin took off running down the street, but she was eventually arrested for theft and evading arrest. Another guy took off running as well. His name was Joseph Ray Jacobs, and he threw away a black duffel bag in the process. The bag had meth and other drug paraphernalia in it, so Jacobs was arrested and charged as well. This all started over Martin stealing over $40 worth of fidget spinners. Who saw that coming? Lil Driver. Thanks to the massive fad in toy craze, it seems that fidget spinners are becoming good cover stories too for when you want to get into some mischief. In Indianapolis, Indiana, a mother was arrested after she let an 8-year-old child drive her black 2008 Ford Fusion. Why? The kid wanted to drive the car. Unlike any reasonable adult, 23-year-old Sherry Cummings said yes instead of no. She told the boy's mother that they were going to go out and buy a fidget spinner, but instead it was a joyride gone bad. Police got a call saying that the black car was all over the road. When they finally arrived, they saw the car swerving all over traffic and nearly hitting 3 cars, including the patrol car. After getting pulled over, Cummings, who was sitting in the passenger seat, grabbed the steering wheel and yelled, "Go!" Well, the cops eventually caught the car and Cummings was arrested. Then it was revealed by the boy that Cummings wanted to teach him how to drive. Either way, a child shouldn't have been behind the wheel, and using fidget spinners as an alibi wasn't the smartest choice. Did you know that fidget spinners could be so much trouble? Alright, let's take a break and we shall exercise your brain with a quiz. A university in the United States claims that they have made the smallest fidget spinner. What school is it and how big is the spinner? Stay tuned to the end of the video to find out the answer. Call the cops. What happens when you're in trouble? Kids, especially the young ones, are told to call 911 should they ever need help. Of course, over the years, we have been treated to adorable 911 calls where the kid needs help with a recipe or being forced to eat vegetables by their parents. In Aurora, Illinois, a 6-year-old boy lost his fidget spinner on a neighbor's balcony in June 2017. Because the boy didn't know what else to do, he called 911. Instead of scoffing at his plea for help, dispatchers sent 2 officers over to assess the situation. The balcony where the fidget spinner ended up was vacant, so the police officer named Jeff Parrish and Sergeant Doug Podschweit decided to go above and beyond the call of duty and help out the boy. They got a ladder and retrieved the lost fidget spinner, and even posed for a picture with the boy. Before you go off about the police officers getting their time wasted, they probably preferred retrieving a lost fidget spinner over dealing with a heftier call where they could get injured or even lose their life. Plus, that little boy got a reminder that there are still good people out there. And if you're ever in trouble, there is help available. Satan's fidget spinner. No, this fidget spinner wasn't actually created by or for Satan, nor does this story have any connection to religious turmoil. While it may seem logical to take your fidget spinner on a plane with you, not all fidget spinners are welcome. In fact, there are some spinners that could get you into trouble by the Transportation Security Administration should you try to put them through security. In June 2017, the TSA posted a photo on their Instagram account of a fidget spinner with 3 sharp points. Yes, the TSA has an Instagram account. That is your tax dollars at work. The spinner was confiscated from a carry-on bag at the Savannah Hilton Head Airport in Georgia. Basically, it's a similar case as to what happened with the school in Florida. In fact, it could very well be the same design. The spinner looks very similar to a throwing star, which are technically weapons. That was the argument that the TSA used to confiscate the spinner, but naysayers said that technically anything could be a weapon. Also, the TSA said that fidget spinners were still allowed on planes, except that they can't look like weapons or have sharp edges. If you want to get to your destination, maybe leave the fancy spinner at home. Bone Crusher. Alligators are not only massive, but they are also ferocious. So when an employee from Wild, Florida put a fidget spinner on the nose of one of the park's alligators, they were just asking for trouble. The alligator, named Bone Crusher, is about 14 feet long and weighs about 1,000 pounds. Given the pressure of an alligator's jaws, it seems that Bone Crusher could easily take your hand off in a single bite. Just ask Captain Hook. The employee put the fidget spinner on Bone Crusher's nose and made it spin while saying "hold." This is the important part because the employee pulled the stunt because he wanted to show how well trained the alligators were. Of course, a video like this made waves online, with some people praising the employee for his bravery while others called out how stupid he was. We think that we can all agree that putting a fidget spinner on the nose of a ferocious animal is not the smartest idea, and it's just asking for trouble. Luckily, this story had a happy ending since the employee didn't lose a limb. And he didn't seem to get in trouble with Wild, Florida. Ooh, crisis averted. Bus brawl. Depending on which school you go to, if you can't get out your fidget spinner during class, then you can get it out while you're on the school bus, right? Surely there wouldn't be any drama as you relaxed and played with your spinner. Well, not quite. Because fidget spinners are so popular, it is easy to assume that every kid has one, but that's not quite the case. Or a kid may already have one spinner, but they want more. When a kid decides to play with their spinner in an open place around their peers, there is always a risk of someone trying to steal it. That's what happened when a 12-year-old boy stole a fidget spinner from a 9-year-old while on the bus. When the 9-year-old's mother tried to confront the mother of the other kid, she couldn't believe that her son stole something. Cops were called, who told the two moms to work it out with the school. The solution the school came up with was to have the boy switch to a different bus, which both parents refused. Then the two mothers got into a road rage incident, and then one mother showed up near the other mother's house, and, well, it's a big mess. All from a stolen fidget spinner. Unleash the beast. How badly do you want a fidget spinner? Would you be willing to harm another person for one? In June 2017, a 7-year-old girl needed 3 dozen stitches to sew up her leg after she was stabbed by an 11-year-old kid. The incident took place in a park in Syracuse, New York, and the two kids got into a fight over a fidget spinner. Apparently, the 11-year-old came armed and started to repeatedly stab the 7-year-old girl. The 11-year-old was arrested and charged with second-degree assault and fourth-degree criminal possession of a weapon. Probably one of the most disturbing aspects of this story is the fact that these were young kids. They weren't teenagers, and they weren't adults. The public reaction has been one of fear and concern. How would you feel if you knew that there were kids walking around with weapons and don't have any fear in using them? What is more disturbing is the fact that the 11-year-old cared that much about the fidget spinner that they were willing to possibly end another person's life over it. Who knows what kind of life the child comes from, and it is possible it's a result of learned behavior from their environment. Which school made the smallest fidget spinner? That would be Texas A&M University Kingsville, and the spinner is smaller than a paperclip. You need a push pin to even hold this tiny thing. Still into the fidget spinner craze after hearing these stories? Tell us in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, then you'll love these other videos. Be sure to take a moment to make sure you're all subscribed to our channel. Until next time, just keep spinning, just keep spinning, just keep spinning, spinning, spinning. What do? We spin, spin, spin.